So in this video we're going to be talking about our Guerrilla 450, and yeah, I tried to name her Toothless, but yep, I'm not still used to that name. We have the Java 42 bubble over there, and I was just trying to wash it, but being the rainy season it isn't in that great condition. For the same reason I was trying to wash it, but it has a lot of mud. If you guys can see, yep, even over here, and most of the washing centers are completely, you can say, busy. So in that sense, we are staying over here. I have to travel another 50 kilometers, and I don't think so it is worth washing. And I think so it has been more than 6 months I bought this bike, so it is a good time to review. I bought it in like the last October, so it is October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, so around 9 months, and that's a big time frame, and I've ridden it around 4,500 kilometers. Let me just show you. It is right now on reserve because it was raining badly and I couldn't fill the petrol. So yeah, and also talking about the mileage, as you can see, in the last 50 kilometers I got 24, and it was on highway, but being the person I am, I don't really ride it with as much as sophistication as I should to get the best mileage possible. But yeah, here and there with a lot of off-road, being the rainy season it is, I still appreciate the mileage whatever it is. Generally you get around 29. If you ride, you can say quite efficiently, you can get up to 31 or even 35 that I've got, but that's in the best possible conditions. Currently you can get around 32 or 31 at most, and even if you're just like going in 40s and 60s, not going over 4,000 rpms and not putting a lot of pressure on the engine, you can get around 29 easily, but that is without heavy traffic. And if you have some heavy traffic, like I come from Chakan all the way to Rajguru, it is around 50 kilometer trip. I have a lot of traffic in Moshi and like Chagan, so for that reasons that's not a good thing, and the mileage drops around 27 if I'm riding really, you can say, I just keep on losing that word. So yeah, that's it. Coming to the second point, how the ownership experience has been, we recently had 2 servicings. The first one was like the oil change at 500 kilometers, and then the 5,000 or 6-month one. And actually I haven't completed 5,000 yet because being a student I have to put my own money to refill it, and I really can't afford it. So yeah, I generally use an Activa, and whenever I have time, like going to the college which is nearby, which is around like 1 kilometer or so, I use this bike. And yeah, if you're using it for city purposes, I don't really recommend this. You can go with the speed or something, and if you're looking for mileage, just don't buy this bike. Like, you know, I also own the Java, and when the Java is new, my dad uses it, and I don't think so he uses it really properly, and for that reason it stops a lot of time even though you're pulling the whole clutch, being in traffic or like stopping conditions. And that's one of the reasons I feel like that is on its way for servicing again. But this one, it's pretty weird. Okay, first of all, even if it is an about like 2,000 rpms and I'm leaving the clutch and like giving a bit of acceleration, it still fucks up, and every single time it stops, and it makes me so mad. And it isn't like if you're traveling with a Pillion, but in general that is the same thing. So yeah, that's one of the things that I really don't like about this bike. But if you're not in like really city conditions, what I'm trying to say is city conditions like Delhi, Mumbai and Pune with heavy traffics, or Karnataka also like Bengaluru, but except that you can buy it for any other reason and don't expect mileage. Second thing, because you know this bike is completely made for fun. There is nothing like this, there is nothing matches this. The only reason, or like I feel like I shouldn't have bought this, was the NS400. And thinking about it logically, let me sit over here. So thinking about it logically, the NS400 currently got the new Apollo tires and the new brakes and all those things, and 43 PS of power. It is almost the same to this, and I think so that goes and this goes around the same, I would say, according to the top end. But the lower end of this bike is pretty good. It isn't that refined as an NS400, but it is pretty good. The reason I didn't go with the 400 was basically it didn't look like a 400cc in the first place. Second of all, I hate the, you can say, the boxy sort of, what do you call it? Yeah, I just forgot it. Swing arm. And third was the cheap display. And I will say this is pretty good. And this is literally, this is like great. You cannot get anything like this, even close to like 7 or 8 lakhs. Like, this is it. And if you can see, if you have watched any of my previous videos, I haven't uploaded. My bad. Okay, so I have fitted you can say protective glass over here, and for that reason there are literally no scratches. There are a lot of scratches beneath it, but the adhesive is like, you know, making them invisible. So yeah, it was a good experience. Talking about the braking system, the brakes are pretty good and I just love them. They are on point, except the tires. The tires are pretty bad. That has always been my concern. And I don't know if you guys can see, it has been a muddy day. As you can see over here, there's a lot of mud. Because I like going wild with this thing, because it is what it is meant for, and I love this. Because this, you can say, a city bike plus it is a roadster, but the whole DNA comes from Himalayan, so it makes it a scrambler, no questions asked. And you cannot deny the fact it can go really wild on off-roads. I'm not talking about proper off-roads like you do, but I'm seeing our city roads, like highways when you're in traffic, and you got the muddy roads on the left. This is perfect for it, and I love that thing. Also, if I've never seen under the shade of one, I can just show it to you. But I think so we need 2 hands for it. I'll try my best. Okay. Nah, I don't think so. Yep. This is what you get below the seat. These are the toolkits. I guess one of them is first aid. No, this is also tools. Both are tools. There is no first aid. And this is the battery. Honestly, it's quite logical. There are no issues. If you go in water or anything, the exhaust sounds pretty good. Above 4,000 RPMs, no sorry, above 5,000 RPMs, the exhaust sounds pretty good. Below that, it is the most average bike, and I love it because it is quite in the city, and when I wanted to road, it rows for you. And easily you can go about 120 kilometers without making a sound, and I just love it. And the vibes, there are quite a few, but I love it. There is nothing more to say about it. And within these 9 months, the one thing I can say is I felt what the fuck this bike is. Like, this is nothing. I'll just keep it like that because it might rain. So there is nothing like this on the road. Okay, you can get a Triumph, but still that bike feels like it is just meant to compete with 350s the way it is. There is nothing special about it. Like, at least if you ask me, there is nothing I would want from a bike, and that is present on a bike. The handling is great, but that is not a classy bike. I used to be a fan of the RC390, but after riding that bike, the whole perspective changed. I needed something that was retro and at the same time manly and matching my generation, or you can say age. Generation is something because like this is not a Gen Z bike, and I don't know what a Gen Z bike is honestly, but like yeah, this is a proper retro modern bike that is designed to do whatever you want. I feel like the design is not that much into the place. Yeah, let me just get it properly in its place. Yep, I'll have to close it from below. Let's do it. Okay, so we closed it. Okay, so the design is all over the place. I hope there is no background noise because there are a lot of kids. I feel like the front looks quite thin. That has always been one of my concerns. And the rear looks pretty good, and that is the only place I will say this bike excels in terms of looks. Even the lights look good. Okay, let me just turn it on. And if you're wondering how the indicators look, just to give you a quick summary, where is it? Yep. This is how it looks. I mean, yeah, this bike is quite pretty, honestly. But I would say, let me give you the conditions to buy this bike. You're not concerned about the mileage. You have a secondary, you can say a daily bike or scooter or something. And you just want a fun bike. Yeah, by the way, it has a good Pillion set and I fucking love it. Because like there is no backrest, you can get the backrest aftermarket, and that is not big of an issue. But I care the way I just care about the way my bike looks, and for that solo reason, I'm not putting a backrest, or else this bike is dangerous without a backrest, or else the person has to clamp onto you because the tank doesn't give enough grip. At the same time, I would say, yeah, the overall mileage, I didn't show you guys that, right? Now this is going to be all over the place, but that is the way I do my reviews. So yeah, overall I got like 21.7, and keeping in mind I've been living in the city like Pune and using it over there without starting the, like you can say, cold starting the engine, because generally I'm late to my college, and for that reason I cannot keep it like for like cold starting every day, because that's what it is. Because similarly what really happens is when I like cold starting an engine, that is great for an engine and I get it. But the thing is, I'm just going to drive it for around 600 meters without like pushing its limits, so I don't think so I need to do it. It is always better, okay, like, but that is my perspective, because I'm always late and I'm trying to tell myself that what I'm doing is right, okay. And due to that reason, if I'll cool started and just go for that few kilometers, I have observed the mileage drops to 14 to 15, and that is not allowed. Instead of that, I just go to my college, which gives me around 16 to 17 if there is no traffic, and I'm fine with it. And if I'm going for longer rides, I would say above 5 kilometers or something, this will easily give you about 24 kilometers per liter, and I'm happy with it. The torque is great, everything is great. And yeah, one more thing, before 2 days I was talking about tires. I had the issue with the rear because that slides a lot, but what really happened was the ABS didn't kick in, and being the person I might you can say click both of my brakes at the same time. But the issue was both of the brakes I did you can say engage them, but both of the tires were sliding in the front, and that was a crazy situation. Keeping in mind we had a speed bump ahead of us and I was with a Pillion, that was crazy. But yeah, the suspensions are pretty good, so they held up quite good, and I'm happy with my bike. Overall, in 9 months, I've seen a lot of paid reviews, I would say, and the way Royal Enfield is promoting this bike is crazy. But yeah, this bike deserves your attention. But yeah, this is not a daily bike, just like the Java. The Java is not a daily bike. Let me repeat, that is not a daily bike. It is at most a weekend bike when I feel like we should take it out. But my dad travels at most 1 or 2 kilometers. He doesn't care about the mileage, so it is perfect for him. And I have no question, because we already have a Splendor and also another scooter which is an Activa, so that is really not big of a concern for him. But if you're having a single vehicle, Java and Guerrilla aren't the one for you. The Guerrilla can be the one for you if you're, first of all, not living in the city. I would say like proper traffic conditions. If you're living in the city without proper traffic conditions, like crazy traffic, you can really go for this bike. And second of all, you don't care about the mileage, because the higher cc you go, it really needs cool starts. And you have to keep that in mind. It is not an R15. That's just 150cc. Even the Activa is 125cc. So you have to keep in mind these bikes need cool start for better mileage, for going anywhere. So yep, that is my review. You can go with this bike. The battery hasn't died on me. I just had the problem with the joystick, which was solved with WD-40 because there was a lot of water inside it and it was just rusting a bit. Except that there are no issues, literal no issues. The exhaust is quite great the way it is, and it hasn't rusted even a bit, okay. None of the parts have been rusted even a bit. The tires, I think so I'll have to change them because the tear is a lot, because I do a lot of off-roading. And except that, everything is fine. The color is holding up quite good. The plastics have faded the color a bit, but after they faded a bit, within 2 months the plastics aren't fading a lot. I would say it is close to none, and I'm pretty happy with the purchase. There is nothing wrong with whatever. I don't know, I don't really have words. I just love the way this bike is, because it has grown on to me so bad. I always felt like I should have bought the Duke 390, but this is it. You want something that is mature. It is better than a 390 in terms of being mature. And in the city where you need like lower torque, I'm not saying like crazy traffic, but like you just need that pull. I am all about the pull. I don't care about how fast the bike goes, okay. Like I love going fast. I have been like 150 or something. I generally go about 120 or something. But the one thing I like about this bike is the way it picks up, and it goes and goes and goes. The lower RPMs, the middle RPMs, and even the high RPMs, everything is enjoyable. The higher RPMs have a lot of can say vibes, but at the same time those vibes aren't an issue, they are enjoyable. They aren't past the point you really want to give up on this bike. Whereas that bike has crazy vibrations over 6000 rpms. This one holds up pretty good. And I guess so that's it. I had an accident, okay, let me just show it to you. I was crossing the road and an Activa came and as you can see it impacted over here, and it was fast, like it was above 40 kilometers, and still this managed to keep it in position. Whereas I've seen the default ones on the Java pretty bad, and as you can see they have this one rod all over the place that all the vehicles are, but the second one that is reinforcing this one, and I'm pretty happy with it. Also, one more thing, the reason I bought this, and I'm going to say again, is because it doesn't have traction control. But I prefer a bike without ABS, but ABS is still fine, keeping in mind what tires this comes with. But traction control, that's a big no, because this is not a sports bike, this is not an off-road bike, this is just a city bike, and you want to have fun with it. You want it to skid around. Like when it skids around, that is a bad thing, but I love it. I love doing it all the time, but sometimes the ABS doesn't let me do it. But that's it. I love this bike. If you want to buy it, you can, and this is not sponsored. And I guess so that is it for today. And I know I haven't been posting for a lot of days, but like my phone had a lot of issues, the rear camera gave up, and a lot of other things, and I'm in college and all. So yep, that's it. That's all about my Guerrilla 450 in the 9 months. It is a great, it's a keeper. You can buy it under those conditions I told you. So yep, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.